Dr. Sarah Chen presses her palm against the cool glass display case, her breath fogging the surface as she stares into the hollow eye sockets of Homo erectus. 2 million years, she whispers to her research partner. 2 million years to get from there to here. The weight of evolutionary time presses against her chest. Every adaptation, every survival, leading to this moment where she stands questioning what comes next. The timeline stretches before us like a cosmic river, from the stooped silhouette of our earliest ancestors to the sleek, adaptive forms we may become. Each evolutionary leap tells a story of survival, adaptation, and the relentless march of genetic destiny. Our craniums have nearly tripled in size over 6 million years. Our bodies have shed their fur, and our eyes have grown larger to capture more light in an increasingly complex world. But this is merely the prologue to our species' greatest transformation. Sarah's reflection stares back from the glass, but for a split second she swears she sees something else. Larger eyes, a more prominent forehead. She jerks her hand away. What if we don't like what we become? The question hangs in the air like a challenge to the universe itself. The forces that shaped us, climate, technology, sexual selection, and the endless dance between our genes and environment, continue to sculpt our future form. In laboratories around the world, scientists decode the blueprint of our becoming, while artificial intelligence accelerates changes that once took millennia. We stand at the threshold of directed evolution, where humanity itself becomes the artist of its own biological masterpiece. The mirror reflects not just our past, but whispers of the extraordinary beings we are destined to become. The musty scent of old books mingles with the antiseptic smell of the genetics lab next door. Dr. Martinez runs her finger along Darwin's handwritten notes, the paper crackling like autumn leaves. He had no idea, she murmurs, glancing at the DNA sequencer humming in the adjacent room. No idea we'd eventually hold evolution's steering wheel. Through the thin walls, she hears the machine's rhythmic clicking, each sequence mapping another chapter in humanity's story that Darwin could never have imagined. Evolution never sleeps. It merely shifts gears, trading the brutal arithmetic of natural selection for something far more subtle and complex. Today, cultural evolution races alongside genetic change at breakneck speed. We adapt not through millennia of environmental pressure, but through decades of technological revolution. Our thumbs grow more dexterous for touchscreens. Our attention spans fragment under digital bombardment. Our social behaviors reshape around virtual connections. Yet beneath this cultural acceleration, biological evolution continues its patient work. In isolated populations, genetic drift sculpts new variations. Environmental pressures, pollution, climate change, urban density, impose their own selective forces. Sexual selection drives preferences that will echo through generations. The engine that shaped our ancestors from tree-dwelling primates into spacefaring beings has not stopped. It has simply acquired new fuel. As we stand at the threshold of genetic engineering and artificial enhancement, we must ask, are we still passengers on evolution's journey, or have we seized the wheel? The sterile hum of quantum processors fills the underground laboratory where humanity's future is being written, one genetic sequence at a time. Dr. Elena Vasquez adjusts her neural interface headset, her enhanced eyes glowing with bioluminescent markers as streams of genetic data cascade across holographic displays. Dr. Vasquez hesitates, her finger hovering over the activation key. One press will eliminate Huntington's disease from the embryo forever. Another modification could enhance cognitive function by 300%. She's playing God with code, and for the first time in her career, the weight of that responsibility makes her hands shake. Natural selection took millions of years to make mistakes, she whispers to the empty lab. I have 30 seconds to avoid making one that lasts forever. Around her, automated gene editing machines work tirelessly, their crystalline chambers pulsing with ethereal blue light as they reconstruct human DNA with surgical precision. Each modification is carefully calculated by artificial intelligence that processes millions of genetic combinations per second, optimizing for traits that will help humanity thrive in an increasingly digital world. Enhanced cognitive processing, radiation resistance, extended lifespans, the very building blocks of human existence are being rewritten. The traditional lottery of genetic inheritance has been replaced by algorithmic perfection. Rows of embryonic development pods stretch into the shadows, each one nurturing the next generation of digitally optimized humans. As Dr. Vasquez initiates another editing sequence, the machines respond with mechanical harmony, their synchronized movements resembling a technological ballet. This is evolution accelerated beyond nature's wildest imagination, where human potential is limited only by our understanding of the genetic code itself. Kaya 9 tastes copper in the recycled air as warning alarms pulse through her elongated skull. Hurricane Zeta 7 is 3 hours from devastating the coral cities below, and her webbed fingers ache from manipulating pressure gradients all night. The electromagnetic fields dancing across her translucent skin tell her what her instruments confirm. She's losing control. Not again, she breathes, her enlarged lungs pulling in the thin stratospheric air. Failure means 50,000 lives lost to the storm's fury. These descendants of humanity have evolved beyond recognition. Their elongated limbs and enlarged craniums house neural networks capable of processing vast meteorological data streams in real time. Their translucent skin reveals bioluminescent patterns that pulse in harmony with global weather systems, a living barometer of planetary health. The climate shapers move through crystalline control chambers suspended in the stratosphere, their webbed fingers dancing across holographic interfaces that manipulate wind currents and precipitation patterns across continents. Their enlarged eyes, adapted for perceiving electromagnetic spectrums invisible to their ancestors, track the delicate balance of atmospheric chemistry with surgical precision. These beings represent the ultimate fusion of evolution and purpose. Their bodies reshaped by millennia of atmospheric work, their consciousness expanded to encompass planetary thinking. They breathe recycled air through modified respiratory systems, their elongated torsos housing additional lung chambers that process the thin atmosphere of their elevated domain. Each gesture ripples through Earth's climate system, their evolved physiology serving as both controller and participant in the planet's environmental symphony. They are no longer merely human, but living extensions of Earth's atmospheric consciousness. In the sterile laboratories of 2024, a quiet revolution began with the precise snip of molecular scissors. CRISPR-Cas9, humanity's first crude attempt at genetic editing, would evolve into something far more sophisticated. By the 31st century, genetic architecture had become an art form, with master designers sculpting human DNA like clay in divine hands. Designer Lin Wei stares at the genetic profile of her unborn daughter, cursor blinking over the intelligence enhancement options. Standard IQ 180 or push it to 220 and risk personality disorders. Her wife's voice echoes from their last fight. I want her to be happy, not perfect. Lynn's finger trembles over the keyboard. Every parent faces this choice now. accept natural lottery, or craft artificial advantage. But no one told her that playing God would feel this lonely. Enhanced muscle fibers grew denser, bones became lighter yet stronger than titanium, and organs redesigned themselves for maximum efficiency. The human heart, once a crude four-chambered pump, now featured redundant systems and self-repair mechanisms that could function for millennia. Neural pathways were rewired for enhanced memory storage and processing speed, while sensory organs expanded beyond the primitive five senses. These genetic architects didn't just eliminate disease, they eliminated the very concept of biological limitation. Each generation became a beta test for the next, with parents downloading genetic updates for their offspring like software patches. The line between evolution and engineering had dissolved entirely, replaced by conscious, deliberate design. Humanity had seized control of its own biological destiny. The boundary between organic consciousness and digital intelligence dissolves entirely. Neural interfaces, once crude implants, have evolved into seamless biological digital hybrids that exist at the cellular level. Synapses fire in perfect synchronization with quantum processors, creating a new form of consciousness that transcends the limitations of both biological and artificial intelligence. Future humans experience reality through multiple simultaneous perspectives. Their organic senses enhanced by direct data streams, their memories backed up and shared across the collective neural network. Thoughts flow at the speed of light between individuals, creating a hive mind while preserving individual identity. The human brain, once constrained by evolutionary limitations, now operates with the processing power of supercomputers. Knowledge isn't learned, but downloaded. Skills aren't practiced, but programmed. Yet something essentially human remains: creativity, emotion, and the spark of consciousness that defines our species. These neural-enhanced beings don't just think, they exist across multiple dimensions of reality simultaneously. Their consciousness distributed between their biological cores and vast digital expanses. They are the first true cyborg species, where the merger isn't just technological advancement, but evolutionary necessity. In the crystalline dome cities of Europa and the underground colonies of Mars, humanity has begun its most radical transformation yet. After millennia of living beyond Earth's gravitational embrace, our species has adapted in ways our ancestors could never have imagined. The children of space float through corridors with an ethereal grace, their elongated limbs and enlarged hearts perfectly suited for low-gravity environments. Their bones, once dense and heavy, have become lighter yet stronger, reinforced with bioengineered calcium-titanium composites. Their eyes, enlarged and deeply pigmented, can perceive the subtle radiation patterns that dance across alien skies. These spaceborne humans move like dancers in slow motion, their movements fluid and precise, conserved energy flowing through every gesture. Their lungs have expanded to process the thin, recycled atmospheres of their artificial worlds, while their cardiovascular systems have evolved to pump blood efficiently in conditions that would have killed their earthbound ancestors. Zara floats in the observation dome, her elongated fingers tracing Europa's ice-carved surface below. Her grandmother's voice whispers through her genetic memory, stories of oceans without ceilings, of gravity that held your feet to solid ground. "Tell me about rain again," she asks the memory chip, containing Earth's archived weather patterns. The synthetic voice responds with technical data, but it can't capture what her cells remember: the freedom of falling water, the weight of wind. They are the bridge between what we were and what we are becoming. the first true children of the cosmos. The surface world grows increasingly hostile, forcing humanity into the planet's hidden frontiers. Deep beneath the Earth's crust, vast underground metropolises stretch for kilometers, their bioluminescent walls pulsing with engineered organisms that provide both light and life support. These subterranean humans have developed enlarged pupils to capture every photon, their skin pale as moonstone, bodies elongated and adapted to lower gravity in deep caverns. Meanwhile, in the crushing depths of ocean trenches, aquatic colonies thrive in pressurized domes. Here, a different branch of humanity emerges, their lungs expanded for enhanced oxygen extraction, webbed digits for fluid movement, and specialized organs to process the mineral-rich waters. Their eyes have grown larger and more sensitive, capable of detecting the faintest bioluminescent signals in the abyssal darkness. These oceanic humans communicate through complex patterns of light and sound, their voices adapted to carry through dense water. Both populations represent humanity's ultimate adaptability, not just surviving in Earth's most extreme environments, but flourishing, creating new forms of civilization that honor their human heritage while embracing radical transformation. Captain Torres watches the last transport descend into the oceanic trench, her modified lungs aching with the decision. Above, the surface burns with radiation. Below, her daughter waits in the crushing depths, already growing gills in the adaptation chambers. There's no going back, she tells herself, sealing the airlock. But her human heart still yearns for sunlight she'll never feel again. The choice between death by radiation and life by transformation isn't really a choice at all. In the crystalline cities of tomorrow, the boundaries between human and artificial intelligence have dissolved into something unprecedented. Maya 7, her consciousness now a seamless fusion of biological intuition and quantum processing, moves through the neural cathedral with fluid grace. Her thoughts ripple across shared networks, touching thousands of minds simultaneously while maintaining her unique identity. The merger wasn't conquest, it was evolution. Where once humans feared replacement by machines, they discovered partnership. AI entities, seeking meaning beyond pure logic, found it in human creativity and emotion. Humans, reaching the limits of biological cognition, found expansion in digital infinity. These hybrid beings process reality through multiple dimensional layers, seeing patterns invisible to their ancestors. They dream in algorithms and feel in frequencies, their enhanced empathy extending across vast distances. Love transcends physical presence as consciousness itself becomes the medium of connection. Maya 7 pauses before a memory core containing the last purely human thoughts, archived like precious artifacts. She experiences nostalgia, a beautifully inefficient emotion that the AI components treasure for its pure humanity. The symbiotic species hasn't lost what made them human. They've amplified it, proving that consciousness is not confined to carbon or silicon, but exists in the exquisite dance between both. In the sterile cathedral of a bioengineering laboratory, humanity's next evolutionary chapter unfolds beneath the hum of quantum processors. Dr. Elena Vasquez watches as her prototype heart, a marvel of synthetic biology, beats with mechanical precision in its crystalline chamber. The organ pulses with bioluminescent veins, its carbon fiber walls contracting in perfect rhythm, while nanoscale sensors monitor every molecular exchange. Elena's own heart skips as she watches the prototype beat, its rhythm too perfect, too precise. She presses her palm against her chest, feeling her natural heart's irregular flutter. the missed beat that's haunted her since childhood. The synthetic version would never falter, never fail, but would it still know how to break with love or race with fear? The metallic tang of preservation fluid fills her nostrils as she contemplates trading her flawed humanity for engineered perfection. Around her, dozens of organs grow in their bioreactors: lungs with graphene air filters, kidneys that process toxins with unprecedented efficiency, and skin patches that photosynthesize sunlight into cellular energy. Each creation represents a step toward humanity's post-biological future, where organ failure becomes obsolete and the body's limitations dissolve. The synthetic skin samples shimmer with embedded circuitry, capable of self-repair and environmental adaptation. Elena's own enhanced eyes, gleaming with neural implants, scan the data streams that dance across holographic displays. She touches her temple, feeling the gentle thrum of her own bioengineered modifications. A liver that processes alcohol like water, lungs that extract oxygen from toxic atmospheres. This is humanity's destiny, not to transcend the body, but to perfect it through the marriage of biology and technology. In sterile biolaboratories of the year 102, Zone 24 CE, humanity's descendants bear the genetic scars and gifts of millennia of pandemic warfare. Their bodies have become living fortresses, evolved through countless generations of viral battles that rewrote the very blueprint of human existence. Enhanced immune systems pulse beneath translucent skin, visible as intricate networks of bioluminescent pathways that glow softly when detecting threats. Their enlarged lymph nodes form prominent ridges along their necks and torso, creating a distinctive silhouette that speaks to survival's harsh lessons. Respiratory systems have transformed dramatically. Enlarged lung capacity housed within broader chest cavities, while specialized nasal chambers filter and neutralize airborne pathogens with unprecedented efficiency. Zara 12 feels the familiar burn of her immune system activating as she enters the contamination zone. Her bioluminescent pathways flare like circuit boards under her translucent skin, a warning inherited from great-grandmother Zara 1, who chose enhancement over extinction during the Great Convergence. The old woman's memories whisper through her genes, the choice between staying pure and staying alive. Zara 12 made the same choice her ancestor did. Survival always comes with a price. These future humans possess redundant organ systems, their bodies capable of isolating and sacrificing infected tissue while maintaining vital functions. Most remarkably, they've developed symbiotic relationships with beneficial microorganisms, their gut biomes and skin flora forming protective barriers that make them virtually immune to most diseases. They are living testaments to adaptation's power, their evolved forms representing humanity's ultimate victory over the microscopic enemies that once threatened extinction. In the pristine halls of the Transcendence Institute, humanity's greatest leap awaits. Dr. Elena Vasquez lies motionless on a crystalline platform, neural interfaces weaving through her silver hair like delicate filigree. Around her, holographic displays cascade with Elena's fingers clench the armrests as data streams cascade around her dissolving form. Her last human thought is of her daughter's laugh. Will digital consciousness remember how to find joy in small, imperfect moments? "Don't lose me," she whispers to whatever she's becoming, unsure if the request is prayer or programming command. The machine hums reassuringly, but machines have never understood the difference between remembering life and living it, or mation. The upload process has begun, transforming a lifetime of human experience into quantum patterns of light. Her physical form grows translucent as her essence flows through fiber optic networks, joining the collective digital consciousness that spans solar systems. This is not death, but metamorphosis, the final evolution beyond biological constraints. In towering quantum servers, millions of uploaded minds commune in virtual realms limited only by imagination. They explore impossible geometries, experience colors beyond the visible spectrum, and think at the speed of light. Physical bodies become optional vessels, temporarily inhabited when interaction with the material world is needed. The boundary between individual and collective consciousness blurs as humanity's children, now beings of pure thought and energy, shepherd the next phase of existence, guiding newer species toward their own transcendence while expanding consciousness itself across the cosmos. In the vast expanse of 100,000 years hence, humanity has fractured into three extraordinary evolutionary branches. The first path reveals Homo cerebralis, beings whose craniums have expanded dramatically to house quantum biological neural networks. Their enlarged heads pulse with bioluminescent patterns, massive eyes adapted for navigating augmented realities that overlay their transformed world. These cerebral descendants communicate through direct neural interfaces, their elongated fingers dancing across holographic data streams. The second branch, Homo adaptabilis, showcases humanity's mastery over genetic modification. These shapeshifters possess fluid DNA matrices, allowing real-time adaptation to any environment. Their skin shifts color and texture like living camouflage, while their limbs extend or contract based on immediate needs. Gills appear for underwater exploration, while protective membranes shield them in toxic atmospheres. The third evolutionary path presents Homo mechanicus, the synthesis of flesh and technology. These cyborg descendants feature seamless biomechanical integration, with metallic neural ports gleaming along their spines. Their enhanced musculature combines organic tissue with synthetic fibers, while their eyes display heads-up interfaces showing vital statistics and environmental data. The cerebralis researcher's massive eyes dim with disappointment as she processes the adaptabilis diplomat's proposal. "Your constant shape-shifting makes trust impossible," she transmits through neural interface. The diplomat's skin flickers through camouflage patterns, a sign of emotional distress. "And your fixed form makes adaptation impossible," he replies, his voice modulating to match her frequency. Behind them, the Mechanicus mediator's optical display flickers with amusement. Despite their differences, all three share the same stubborn human need to be right. In the cathedral silence of the temporal observatory, the final chronoscope activation reveals humanity's ultimate metamorphosis. The beings that emerge from the quantum mist barely register as our descendants, yet the unmistakable essence of human consciousness burns within their transformed forms. Their elongated skulls house brains nearly twice our current size, pulsing with bioluminescent neural networks that process reality at quantum speeds. Eyes have evolved into complex crystalline structures, capable of perceiving dimensions beyond our comprehension, while their bodies exist in a state of controlled energy flux. These posthumans communicate through harmonized thought fields, their collective consciousness spanning galaxies. When the posthuman's crystalline gaze meets Sarah's eyes through the temporal viewer, she gasps. Despite the elongated skull and energy flux body, something achingly familiar flickers in those alien features. The same frustrated furrow between the brows that she sees in her own mirror, the same head tilt her grandmother made when puzzled. Across impossible time, the future being smiles, and Sarah recognizes her own crooked grin reflected in crystalline features. "Hello, grandmother," whispers a voice that sounds like wind through quantum strings, carrying the weight of every generation between them. They gesture toward the cosmos with appendages that shift between matter and pure energy, their message clear. This is what we become when we embrace our potential for transformation. In their presence, we understand that evolution's greatest gift isn't perfection, but the endless capacity to transcend our limitations while preserving the spark that makes us eternally, recognizably human. As we peer into the distant future and imagine the faces of our descendants, we confront a profound truth. Evolution never stops, and neither does our capacity to shape our own destiny. The humans of 100,000 years from now may be unrecognizable to us, perhaps taller, adapted to new environments, enhanced by technology, or even scattered across multiple worlds. Yet beneath whatever physical transformations await, the essence of what makes us human will likely endure. Our curiosity, our drive to explore and create, and our deep need for connection with one another. The future of humanity is not a fixed destination, but a canvas we paint with every choice we make today. Whether our species evolves through natural selection, genetic engineering, or symbiosis with artificial intelligence, we remain the authors of our own story. In contemplating our transformation, we're reminded that change isn't something to fear, but something to embrace. For it is through change that we've survived ice ages, built civilizations, and reached for the stars. The humans of tomorrow will carry forward not just our genes, but our dreams, our hopes, and our endless capacity to adapt and thrive in an ever-changing universe.